I always said there would come a time, right? I always said there would come a time where people were getting too comfortable on the internet without facing repercussions, right? The internet has made everyone so secure in the fact that you can say whatever you fuck you want without getting punched in the face, right? And unfortunately, in a little altercation this weekend over at DreamCon, which I didn't get to go to, which I wanted to go to, which I didn't have the money to fucking go because I get in fucking Houston, Texas. Some guy got beat for trolling doo-doo garbage or DDG. You know, and it's like, I will say this, bro. Real life is not the internet. Real life is not the internet. You do get your ass whooped for shit like this. You know, it's all fun and games, calling somebody chopped or calling someone ugly, annoying, stupid, or whatever nickname. But just know you're in a position to get that ass whooped. Today we got content creators are getting their beats or getting the beats for clip farming. Omeezy, bro. I mean, I'm like Kobe and Shaq right now, bro. He's giving me good content to react to, so I say go subscribe, go like his shit, and always show love to the original creator. Plus, follow my Instagram. Yeah. I know you're not following. I know you're not following. Yeah, you. I know you're not following me. Why you not following me? You scared? You scared? Huh? Look like a game to you? Go follow the Instagram. And subscribe too. And leave your like and your thoughts. Leave all that shit here.
Doodle, no, I got set. This report,
No, but what you say?
Doodle,
Hey, his diamond necklace is shining though. Hold on, dub.
Doodle, no, I got set.
That shit's blinging, bro. And oh my, who is this? And why is he at the fucking medieval knight vendor? Why is there a Leviathan axe from God of War, legendary pool? Damn, that was off the top of the dome. Why is he over here? Sir, what are you doing at this station? Why is this station even there? I don't know.
This report, is this report?
No, but what you say?
Doodle,
Garbage. Oh, just real quick. We gotta go on. Somebody hugged it. It actually hugged it. What you say?
Doodle, garbage.
Like,
No recording.
I already seen it.
Like I said, clip farming has gone way too far.
Omeezy,
Now, for
where
those
you
who
at?
are unfamiliar with the situation, it looks like DDG has had enough of the clip farms of the nicknames. And to be honest with you, I think that this serves as a good and fair warning for those that are coming into any sort of place and space thinking they can just clip farm. Like, I've been telling people on this
I would like
platform.
to give a word out to my community, my supporters, and people that I love that watch this video. I'm not condoning violence. I would just like you to know that if there ever comes a time and situation where you guys, someone's trolling, saying shit to you, bro, try to solve it with words first, bro. Violence should never be physical violence should never be your first answer. I'll always condone frying somebody's ass up. If they need it, they need it, bro. If someone's talking crazy and you got some good ass comebacks, fire them shots off, bro. But if they're trolling and it gets to the point where they start touching on you, pulling on you, like these, whatever fighting style, we can go to kickboxing, MMA, jiu-jitsu, karate, aikido, bro. Whichever way you want to go, let me know. Or we can use the new and improved American style, Ganjitsu, bro. You're done.
Platform before, clip farming is not a way to make a career. It's not something that's long lasting. It's not something that is fulfilling. And ultimately, like in this situation, it led to some sort of physical violence. People don't realize these content creators can totally get upset with the clip farming and the name calling and the stuff that you get off. These people have real feelings too. So DDG gave people a fair warning just a couple days ago that if they continue with the clip farms, if they continue throwing these insults, if they continue with the name calling, then this is going to be the situation at hand.
If a fan came up to me on some doodle garbage, bro, I'ma hold that so goddamn bad, bro. No better.
Now, whether you believe DDG or not, this doo-doo garbage, name calling or insult that stemmed from Bruce dropping him off in his beef just a couple months ago is clearly...
First off, Omizi, I'm very ashamed of you. There's no way you said Bruce drop him off, buddy. That's from Soul Illuminati. Doo-doo garbage! That was not Bruce, bro.
Affecting. And I know that some people might think that he's soft or whatever the case may be, but
did anybody in the comments correct that, bro? Doo-doo garbage comes from DD. Yeah, all right, good. That's the first comment up there.
The reality of the situation is, if they don't know you, they're not going to tolerate it. And besides that fact, why do people think that this is the way to get content? Like, I think that this is so short-sighted, and maybe they've been influenced by whoever and whatever, or whatever the case may be. But
I said we. There ain't no we. I ain't got no editor, nigga. I got a video coming out, or that I'm making. It should come out before this one, but it's basically the situation of content creation today, where you have to it's almost like you have to be on some fuck shit to blow up. Did you notice at Streamer University, the people that you never heard of before that you heard of whenever they left all came from clip farms? Corey 2U in that Frozone suit, the one that boxed DDG, was clip farming the whole time. Snow Cone, clip farming the whole time. Snow Cone's bad as fuck too. Fuck her boyfriend. Sorry. It is what it is, bro. She looked good. Anyways, yeah, bro. It's just it's damn near like that's what you have to do. Some people are just talentless and lack brains, so that's the only thing they can do. It's the only thing they can do. You get what I'm saying? They can't entertain people by sitting in front of a camera saying whatnot or playing the game, so they gotta fuck with other people to get views. Who's that one guy that's catching flack for? Because that's all he does, bro. It's just clip for him. I don't remember his name. If I remember, I'll say it later in the video.
Even like Agent says, something that I agree with, clip farming and doing this sort of content is something that is not going to build you an audience. It's not something that's going to be long lasting. And ultimately, you are going to be forgotten the next day.
Why they disrespecting him like that, though? If you gonna yap nonsense to it right in front of his face, you got to be prepared for them consequences. It's not even clip farming. It's just being trolls, bro. It's just trying to be remembered. They don't even give a out or being remembered. Like, bro, you're going to be remembered as I just chose to troll, bro. And then we will never hear of you again.
And I do agree with Agent, but the foundation of streaming has totally shifted in the past couple of years, where this is what people see as entertainment. This is what people see as the content. They believe that getting their name out there, no matter what and no matter what expense, is the way to go about doing these things. But ultimately, what he's saying is 1,000% right. At best, this guy will be remembered as the guy who got snuffed out by Dub and whatever cameraman and DDG and his whole collective. At worst, he'll be back to punching the clock. And there's nothing wrong with that, but you did all this in an attempt to become famous for what? Now, I'm not advocating for physical...
That's why when I get my start, bro, when I hit 1,000 and then eventually hit 100,000 and then hit 1 million, and whenever I break into the acting scene, the modeling scene, all the scenes, the fashion scene, can't nobody say that. Can't nobody say, yo, this nigga blew up from just harassing other people, or somebody gave me my start. I did this shit myself. There ain't nobody around me. Y'all haven't seen one other person in my videos, bro. This is me, bro. Honest.
violence. So I wanted to see what Dub and DDG and the rest of the gang had to say about this, because although I don't agree with people insulting people, I do want to give them the benefit of the doubt and hear them out at least.
Grabbed me, I hit the. So then I'm like, bro, what the? It was like a large crowd, and security grabbed me. I'm like, bro,
I see Tiny sleep dog, boy. I'm like, damn.
yeah, my didn't even get on that.
Nah, yes it did.
No, it didn't.
Yes it did. I see Jason holding your camera and everything.
No, but I had no signal. I had 200.
Nah, your had signal when we did that skit.
Yeah, they said you didn't show anything.
Nah, I know, but still, like, you know how that be, bro. They banned Kelly for a skit, man. I ain't trying to get banned for a skit.
Now, I think DDG was really just trying to save face here. He didn't want to get banned from the con. He didn't want any sorts of issues with Twitch, any sort of lawsuit or anything like that, and he'll deal with it in the private eye. I think that he's a very strategic and tactical person, so, you know, doing those things, he's good at covering them up. But ultimately, at the end of the day, and I can give this perspective because I am literally on the grounds of DreamCon. I came down for the weekend, and I'm recording this video hours after the situation happened. None of this really did anything at the con. None of this shook the airwaves. And all this guy got was the brakes beat off him. He was so unmemorable after the situation, it's almost amazing, which has me thinking again about points that I've had in the past about clip farming and what it does for you. In my last video about Streamer University, I had a take about these new content creators getting into this lane and don't rely on clip farming because it is not going to be something that will benefit you in the long run. If you don't remember, there were some content creators who had broke into Agent 00's room because they thought that he was running some black market and wanted to play into this whole theme of I'm taking advantage of the black market, stealing from it. But they literally broke into his actual room where actual things are, and it did not turn out the best for these guys.
Where is Jay at? Y'all think it's appropriate to come in my room while I'm not there? It's a difference between content.
Even in that interaction, No Limit Jay still doesn't understand the difference. Agent is seriously looking for him and voluntarily says, I'm right here. Now, I don't think he's being forthcoming and truthfully saying, hey, this is me, I'm No Limit Jay. I think he still thinks that this is still a part of some elaborate skit and scam, but he doesn't realize that he's crossed the line. He's literally broke into somebody's room, and all for the sake of getting a clip up. Now, in Agent's sit down and hashing out of the situation, he gave No Limit Jay a warning, something that we've been giving out for a long time that a lot of these content creators do not understand.
I didn't think this was actually your personal room. They said black market. They said Asian black market. They said this room. So I came up here.
It has beds, it has things. Like
no, I know, but I'm not thinking, there's
so
multiple
look, bro,
rooms.
there's
If
if you came in here and on some content busted in the room. If I'm in the room, I'm saying.
Right.
You coming in here with a camera, you got to think, oh, we just minimize it. My analytics is up.
No,
like,
no,
my
I didn't come
stream
here.
is up.
That's
My
what I'm saying,
count's
though.
up. It doesn't matter.
I understand that.
You
You're
came in the room
right.
with you didn't know where the stuff was, right?
You're right.
Because we hit it.
That's what I'm saying. I didn't come all in these rooms like that. I was peeking around,
just
and then we
let
walked in there.
me share some intel with you, my.
Sure.
There's lines, bro.
And while I get what Agent is saying, and I totally wholeheartedly agree, we have to look back at what's been happening over the past couple of years with content creation and realize that a lot of the stuff that's going on today are from actions of the past, stuff that we should have stopped and nipped in the bud a long time ago. But because we are now here, we're getting mad at basically these new creators for doing these things that their favorite creators have been doing in the past. Like, they're convinced that this is their way out. Like, this is the way to get a bunch of money, and they're willing to do any and everything in order to get that money.
All right, y'all. I guess I'm getting fired.
We knew that.
Yes! Wait, what?
When the fucking I said the same shit.
Corey 2U was a big success at Streamer University.
Right.
Took advantage of the whole situation, had DDG react to him and his clip farming attempts, and it went over fairly well. He didn't put anybody in harm's way. But the idea of creating the content being just a continuous clip farm for what he says to be money, to me, just doesn't sit right. Because I have to ask, how far are you willing to go?
I went to Streamer U broke. My account was negative 612. My credit cards were maxed out, all because of content. I owed $322.50 on the Cash App. You know what's crazy, Chad? I had no bread to get back on that flight and check in any bags. I'm telling you, God is real, bro.
An inspirational story, but a warning sign nonetheless, because at the end of the day, there's something that is supposed to be more aspirational and inspirational to content creation than getting the money from doing said content creation. Because all that happens is you realize that the negative things, the clip farms, the over-the-top takes are the things that reign supreme. So you're willing to do any and everything in order to basically get it off. So once they start to learn that people like DDG are essentially the method, they're gonna continue to rehash that over and over and over and over again, even if it means getting hands put on you or distracting from what is supposed to be a beautiful moment at something like Streamer University, where people are coming to actually physically learn.
Garbage.
Who said that?
Who said that? You want to escort him out?
No, who said that?
No, I was answering his question.
Get out.
Leave on my God. They talking about. I'm with Bruce. I'm a plant. They talking about.
Another issue that I have with clip farming is that these people get so wrapped up into it, you know, instead of building the actual audience but going for the clicks and the views, that it ultimately becomes their brand, and it can be damaging. I know y'all are tired of me beating this dead horse, but this is basically the Zoe Spencer paradox. Going out there doing whatever it takes in order to continuously get some sort of traction, likes, or views, that it becomes your brand, to the point where you have the internet blasting you and calling you annoying for who you are.
I don't think Zoe's I don't think she's annoying. I think that's kind of her brand though, bro. So like, if you're not comfortable around it, then you're not comfortable around it. But that's just her brand, bro.
Now, with that being said, all of that could be true. It could be her brand, but at some point, people are ultimately going to get tired of this persona. There's nothing genuine about you. Right. You're just wanting to and willing to whip out a phone and a camera in order to capture any moment. And that could be at anybody's expense. And ultimately, this will blow over sooner rather than later. But right now, this stain on her image of being annoying or being some person who commits SA without any sort of context behind it is hurting her in a bigger way than it is helping her. Right. Now, with the clip farming at an all-time high, it begs the question, should there be some sort of ramifications for clip farmers? Now, I don't know what that is outside of just a community shunning, and ultimately I think that the views will be reflective of the content that they put out, because what I've noticed this past weekend is that a lot of these clip farmers, a lot of these new age streamers, a lot of these people wanting to participate in this content really don't have a plan.
Making the stallions use tequila, so you get to test it out and take a picture in the photo booth.
I don't know, it's really free Tory, so I don't know. I said it's free Tory. We signed with my man's Tory.
They're just out there trying to get.
Yeah, that was weird. That was dude. Yeah. That snow cone, by the way. I mean, she's cute, but she just does some crazy questionable shit, bro. Like, why are you going up to a booth where Megan is at and saying free Tory? Now, what would you have done if those girls started putting the beats on you, bro?
The most outlandish clips possible.
No, bro.
Wait, what?
Hey, you guys.
What did she say?
Get the most outlandish clips possible.
No, bro. Hey, you guys. Hey, what's up? And it's going to fight. That's
I'm echoing my sentiments from the Streamer University video and live stream that I did just last week. Again, in this video, I saw a bunch of up-and-coming content creators, you know, people aspiring to be content creators, truly not knowing what they're doing, not having a plan, not having a direction, not having an identity outside of trying to get the best clip possible. What did that woman try to gain from telling Agent that he's so fine she would suck his dick? Like, I understand the moment and it's funny or whatever the case.
Girls that, like, eaters like that, bro, just overly eating are scary. Bro.
Maybe, but how do you go about?
Plus, it's Houston, Texas. Ain't that where Dreamcommon is? In Texas? Brody, they're burning down there. Bad. Agent, don't do it. She's a succubus, bro. I know she looks good, bro. Don't do it.
building a brand on top of that. I understand the guy doing the fake pass out thing. It's funny for the moment until it's not funny for the moment. And it gets not funny for the moment very, very fast. These are people that don't have any sort of repackaging plan for their content, you know, throw it up thumbnail title. They don't have any way of feeding it to another audience. They are literally searching for and looking for the biggest content creators at the convention or at whatever establishment they're at or whatever moment that they can get and trying to get some sort of clip from that. Like, how will that young lady go about uploading that video to a YouTube or to a Twitter? What thumbnail title? I told Agent 00 I would suck his dick. I told the biggest content creators at the con I would suck their dicks. Is that content? I don't think that that's content. That's just a clip. And that clip is not going to be long lasting. Ultimately, we knew that clip farming would get to a point where people were basically getting their hands and feet placed on them by anybody else because they are going over the top. And I don't condone what DDG, Dub, and the cameraman did to that young man today, but please let this be a warning to a bunch of people out there. Clip farming isn't content. Look, I want to take a second here at the end of this video to do something that I don't normally get to do. By the time this uploads and is out for a couple hours, I'm projecting that we will cross 100,000 subs. Thank God. Finally, we did it. We made it as a community, as a whole. You know that I'm going to always say I could never do anything like this without viewers like you and the ability to share some of these videos. Thank you.
Thank you to Omeezy. I doubt you'll see this. I really hope. Are you at 100K yet? Yep. You're at 100K, dude. You know, appreciate you, bro. I really can't say anything bad about you, you know. I'm basically reusing your content and speaking over it, in a sense. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm right now, as of now, these type of videos, like reaction videos, are minimum effort. So I got to give credit where credit's due. I probably, since I started doing more reactions, I probably reacted to Omeezy's videos. Let's just say if I have 20 reactions up right now, about 8 of those are from this guy. So, like I said, y'all go follow his shit. Y'all go subscribe to his shit. He's a good creator, bro. He makes good ass videos. You know what I'm saying? And as for me, subscribe to me too, as well. Yeah. Follow my Instagram, like, leave your thoughts, and I love y'all. Peace.